Hello friends, welcome back to UPSC Jugado, your ultimate Jugad to UPSC. So let's start with Max Weber. As I said, there are 21 days extra for the prelims. So I would suggest you to complete your optional important topics or at least one paper. So let's start with 20 questions. So here I'm usually focusing on 21, 22 and 23. But there was a question of the year 2020. So let's see what has to ask. Which concept did Weber use to analyze the forms of legitimate domination? So according to Weber, legitimate domination or power is called authority. So this is the definition. He used this concept of ideal type to analyze it. Authority is considered legitimate in the society. So this is our small introduction. For 10 marker, I would say keep the introduction shorts and usually by definition or introduction of a fact, a report, a quote, etc. or quoting a thinker also you can do. He thus identifies three sources of legitimacy, that is tradition, rationality and affective or charisma, and develop three pure ideal types of authority. So let's see. First is traditional authority. So this stems out of traditional social actions. I hope you have a background for social actions. Here I am just writing the points, you can elaborate. So power due to family, clan, heredity, etc. So this is barrier to rise of rational economic structures like capitalism. This is the least rational authority. So moving forward to more rational authority, so that is charismatic authority. So this stems out of affective social action due to personal qualities of a person. So what is personal qualities? One could be a great leader, or one could be a great influencers on people, or any quality like very dominating behavior. So everyone has their own charisma. So this is less rational than the traditional authority. So it depends on the group of disciples and till they fail to recognize the leader, or it lasts until the movement is lasting. So you can quote some examples from the history for which some जो होम रूल लीग है वो बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम पीरियड के लिए थी, बट इट वॉज ड्यू टू तिलक्स एंड बेसन्स efforts that it got recognition. So the state is fragile, like बहुत ही short time के लिए है, but not as effective as legal rational authority and no formal rules. तो legal rational हम आगे देखेंगे. So example here could be Anna Hazare in India against corruption. उसके बाद उनका a leader जैसा Deminor went away, but still he is referred to with great reverence at times when he is mentioned, and due to his effort Lokpal and Lok Ayukt bill came into picture. So legal rational based on Zweig rational social action. This is the most rational of it, and the purest form is bureaucracy. This is more pure type and the most efficient of all the three authority types. This is basically the theory. कोई भी बुक रेफरेंस लेके आप पढ़ सकते हैं. आई वुड personally recommend Nitin Sangwan sir's book, which is enough for sociology. You don't need to read something extra for all the papers. Actual authority may be a combination of ideal types. For example, Nehru. So he had this traditional authority also and charismatic authority also, and one particular type may transform into another. So you can write certain examples if you want. So criticism, there are 4 types of social actions but 3 types of authorities. Then Michael Foucault says power is dispersed in the society, and Robert Dahl says authority is situational and is very subjective. does not only depend on the person, but also the situation, time, need, etc. So Weber's contribution added many new perspectives to the subject. His work in authority still remains relevant. So this is something positive as a conclusion. Prepare a generic conclusion and an introduction. वही रट के वही लिख कर आइए आंसर्स के लिए. So for each topic you don't have to think for introduction and conclusions, because many times we fail to identify these part as very important और हम भूल जाते हैं. Especially the conclusions are very poor in the papers. 2023 में एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है, Weber's idea of bureaucracy, a product of historical experiences of Europe. Comment. So bureaucracy, as per Weber, is the ideal type of legal rational authority. That is the purest type. It is hierarchical organization designed rationally to coordinate work of individuals to reach organizational goals. So इनका मानना है कि as a society moves forward and modernizes, so there will be a structure known as bureaucracy, which will be like hierarchical, and that will be important for organizations' work. It is rational means of exercising authority over human beings and attaining highest degree of efficiency, and it has certain properties, that is written legal rational rules, hierarchy, specialization of work, training, permanency of job, expectation of the work with honesty, written rules, and incumbent are not allowed in the system. But it also has certain drawbacks. Now the main part is, for bureaucracy, I need to explain the background of bureaucracy with definition, its properties, because it's a 20 marker. So मुझे 4 pages का space मिल रहा है. So these are shorter points. You can elaborate on it. You can write full sentences, but I try to include the only important phrases, I would say. 300 approximately words. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको 300 टोटल लिखना ही है या 300 से ज़्यादा लिखना है. Something near to 300, but given that it concludes your points, which threatens the creativity. Also due to slavery of rationality, they become alienated. This is the okay. It is a product of historical experiences of Europe. This is the second part of my question, rather the most important part of my question. So again there are 3-4 points. जैसे chapter 1 में आपने देखा कि sociology कहाँ से आया है and what led to the development of sociology as a subject. वही सारे points हम repeat कर देंगे, just एक या दो example देके. So let's start. That is scientific revolution open the doors for rationality and logic. So यहाँ पे आयरन केज ऑफ रैशनैलिटी, जैसे मैंने बोला, बहुत ज़्यादा रैशनल सिस्टम्स हैं. People begin to question everything. So religion couldn't answer certain questions. So they begin rationalizing and analyzing logically, coming to a conclusion. So this led to the scientific revolution, and hence sociology as a subject developed. And with this, as the society progresses, there would be a hierarchy. As a specialization बढ़ेगा, तो things will be interconnected. So that is why we need bureaucracy. So industrial revolution, management and hierarchical structures were required, and due to machines also developed, so somebody had to take care of the workers and the management. So there were many departments. So with that, for efficiency of the output of industrial revolution, bureaucracy developed. So even if we see the East India Company, so it was a company, then it became a bureaucratic organization with time as they arranged themselves. Reformation through Renaissance. So here we can write Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism. Like they also developed religion on rational lines so that it could promote bureaucracy. And so it led to the development of economic and political structures that required specific training, honesty and efficiency. And then nation states and democracy also put up a challenge in front of people to uh, manage so many people in a country. So not many could lead, and there are several levels, like district and state and then the country as a whole. So we see that there is a structure related, every level has certain amount of work, वो उसी लेवल के लिए है, फिर उसके ऊपर जाता है तो द नेचर ऑफ वर्क चेंजेस. तो दैट इज़ वाई नेशन स्टेट्स एंड डेमोक्रेसी लेड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी. फिर राइज ऑफ कॉलोनियलिज्म, यहाँ पे एग्जांपल्स दे दीजिए कि बहुत ज़्यादा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बढ़ गया था, इसके लिए सेटअप करने पड़े ये इंस्टीट्यूशंस. सो देयर वाज लॉ, लेजिस्लेशन, जुडिशरी, एक्सेट्रा, पुलिस, देन armies, everything requires a level of hierarchy, specialization, honesty. तो rise of colonialism एक और example है. You could pause and read the content from here. So apart from Europe, Indian and ancient civilizations had similar structures. अब मैं काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट कर रही हूँ कि सिर्फ यूरोप में नहीं था, हर जगह पे ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बन रहे थे. बट क्योंकि यूरोप ने ब्यूरोक्रेसी नेम दे दिया, तो वी नो ब्यूरोक्रेसी एज देयर प्रोडक्ट. बट नहीं, अर्थशास्त्र है जैसे कौटिल्य का, और एनी अदर, इफ़ यू वांट यू कैन कोट समथिंग, सम other shastras as well, or other literature as well in the historical dimension. So we can't claim कि European origin ही है. Also practically it differs in the practice due to corruption, nepotism and other factors. So I'm just adding on to the points. Criticism of bureaucracy. So it reduces democracy to oligarchy. It's a utopian concept, and humans are reduced simply as cogs, but so it neglects flexible behavior of humans. So they don't consider humans as very flexible and simply as cogs and the slave of rationality, but which is untrue. There are many situations where you have to plan ad hoc things. So his concept of bureaucracy is relevant in today's multifaceted governance, globalization, supply chains, MNCs, etc. तो अब हम सीधा सीधा बुराई नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम उसको बोल रहे हैं कि यार ये बहुत ज़्यादा एरियाज़ में रेलेवेंट है आज भी. और फॉर एग्जांपल नेशन स्टेट्स हैं, MNCs हैं, ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन्स हैं, कोई भी छोटा सा शॉप में चाहिए, देर आर ऑल्सो लेवल्स ऑफ पीपल मैनेजिंग. सो ऑल्सो it has molded itself according to the requirement. Like disaster management में DMs जो काम करते हैं, right? So let's take another question. This is 2021. I don't think 2022 में कोई भी question था इसके related. So bureaucracy has a potential to become iron cage. Do you agree? Justify your answer. So ये part remains constant. Coming to the second part, in real life bureaucracy is still moving forward towards ideal type and attaining highest level of efficiency. तो हमने कहा कि अभी भी वो लेवल ऑफ एफिशिएंसी नहीं आया, वी आर एक्सप्लोरिंग द लेवल्स ऑफ एफिशिएंसी दैट वी कुड रीच. सो अब आयरन केज है कि नहीं, दिस इज़ जस्ट अ स्मॉल इंट्रोडक्शन. व्हाट आर द फीचर्स ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी? दिस इज़ अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी. आई नो दिस इज़ अ 10 marker, so this will contain, for example, 30 to 40% of my answer. Now let's begin the other part. But with this view, Weber had a skepticism that bureaucracy is the process which will lead to alienation of human beings, and how. So he referred to it as iron cage of rationality, which makes humans a slave of rationale. It is a threat to individual liberty and creativity. It is the hardest institution to destroy, therefore it is escape proof. And one more point I want to add, that due to hierarchy they have to listen to their seniors. So आप यहाँ पे भी पॉइंट्स इलैबोरेट कर सकते हो. मैंने पैराग्राफ फॉर्म में लिखा है, बट आई वुड रिकमेंड यू टू राइट सर्टेन पॉइंट्स, और इसके साथ भी और चीज़ें ऐड कर सकते हैं. So suicide of several IS officers due to the system. So we have certain examples where in the past bureaucrats have suicide because of the inflexibility of the system. But yes, ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ, there are institutions which have given ground for these institutions have also given grounds for innovation. So we'll write some certain examples like metro in Delhi, lunch with DM, etc. Humans are simply not cogs, but they have flexibility during certain events. Again here I had written कि ये जो भी है ये यूटोपियन कंसेप्ट है, तो यहाँ पे भी लिख सकता है इट इज़ अ यूटोपियन कंसेप्ट दैट ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज सच. ओके, and you can elaborate these many points also. So Weber's study of bureaucracy is seen practically in various areas such as modern nation states, democracy, MNCs, etc. So here we conclude and answer on the positive note. So I finish the Weber's part today. मोरल दिस, आपको आइडिया आ गया होगा कि आंसर्स कैसे लिखना है. मैंने पॉइंट्स लिखे, फ्रेजेस लिखे, आपको इस पर एलैबोरेट करना है टू मेक इट 150 और 300 वर्ड्स अकॉर्डिंगली, जो भी मार्क्स हैं क्वेश्चंस के उसके हिसाब से. सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड. थैंक यू सो मच. ट्यून इन टू सम मोर वीडियोज़.